Love can become a prison when we fear losing it. We don't always notice when it happens. But somewhere along the way, what began as love starts to tighten its grip. Not because the love is gone, but because the fear has arrived. Fear of losing them, fear of not being enough, fear of being left behind. So we hold tighter. We try to protect. We try to guide. We try to help. Until one day, they can no longer breathe. And neither can we. This is the paradox. The more we try to keep someone close through control, the more they slip away through resistance. Because deep down, we all crave one thing: freedom to grow, freedom to be seen, freedom to choose. So today's question is, can you truly love someone without needing to control them? Can love be a space instead of a leash? Can it be fuel instead of fire? This isn't just a relationship question. It's a human one. Because behind every toxic romance, suffocating friendship, or even overbearing parent, lurks a common illusion that love must possess to be real. But what if the opposite were true? What if the highest form of love is the one that dares to let go? Let's explore this together. I'm only doing this because I love you. That's the trap. Control rarely wears the face of control. It comes dressed in concern, in protection, in love. But look deeper. When we say, "Don't wear that," it's not appropriate. I'm just trying to keep you safe. I know what's best for you. Are we really protecting them? Or are we protecting ourselves from discomfort, from their change, their risk, their independence? Love becomes possessive when we confuse care with control. It happens in subtle ways. We micromanage their choices. We withhold approval until they comply. We shame them for doing things differently. And the scariest part? We often genuinely believe we're doing the right thing. Because control feels like safety. It gives us the illusion of stability, of certainty, of permanence. But love isn't supposed to be safe like that. It's supposed to be real. Which means it's risky, it's messy, it evolves. The hidden trap is this: the more we try to preserve love by managing it, the more we end up suffocating the very thing we wanted to protect. So ask yourself, is your love giving space? Or is it building walls? To love someone is to trust their journey, even when it's not your map. Why do we control the people we love? Because deep down, we think we own them. We might never say it aloud, but it shows in how we behave. You're mine. You're supposed to make me happy. You can't leave. I need you. This is the ego speaking. The ego wants guarantees, certainty, predictability. And love? Love is none of those things. So the ego builds illusions that people are possessions, that love is a transaction, that loyalty means obedience. But at the root of control is fear, fear of abandonment, fear of losing relevance, fear that without control, we are nothing. It's not just romantic. Parents do it to children, friends do it to each other, even leaders do it to those they lead. They believe their role entitles them to dictate someone else's path. But this is not love. This is ownership dressed in affection. And ownership is rooted in insecurity, not intimacy. Because when we truly feel whole, we don't need to grip love. We give it. So here's the root truth. You don't own love. You don't own people. You only get to witness them, support them, Walk beside them, never over them. When we let go of the illusion of ownership, we make space for something far more powerful: connection without control. Let's be honest. Most people have never seen real love. They've seen attachment, infatuation, possessiveness, control wrapped in compliments. But not love. Love, in its truest form, is not a cage. It's a mirror that reflects who you are and still stands beside you. It doesn't say, "You belong to me." It whispers, "You are free, and I choose to walk with you." Love celebrates individuality, not conformity. It nurtures growth, even when that growth takes someone in a direction you didn't expect. It says, "I'm not here to complete you. I'm here to support your completeness. I'm not afraid of your light. I want to see it shine, even if it outshines mine." Real love isn't threatened by independence. It's inspired by it. Because true love doesn't fear losing someone. It fears holding them back. This is the awakening that love is not something to control. It's something to witness, nourish, and set free. If that sounds radical, it's because we've been fed a counterfeit version our whole lives. But when you taste real love, it's unmistakable. And once you've seen it, you can't settle for anything less. So, if love is freedom, why do we keep turning it into a cage? The truth is, letting go terrifies us. We fear being left behind. We fear being replaced. We fear losing control. Beneath all our rules, our expectations, our silent tests, is a frightened voice whispering, "If I let them be fully themselves, will they still choose me?" We don't restrict others because we're evil. We do it because we're insecure, because we don't feel safe in a love that we can't command. And society doesn't help. It tells us, if they love you, they'll change for you. If they don't do what you want, they don't care. But that's not love. That's emotional blackmail dressed up as romance. So we become possessive. We micromanage. We demand proof through sacrifice. But here's the paradox. The more you try to control love, the more it slips through your fingers. What we resist is not the person's freedom, but the fear of our own unworthiness. We think, if I don't control them, I might lose them. But the truth is, if you have to control someone to keep them, you already lost them. Real love begins where fear ends. And that's the resistance we must face. Not outside, but within. So how do we actually love? Without clinging, without controlling, without losing ourselves, or asking someone else to lose themselves? The answer is not in detachment. It's in mature presence. To love without possession is to say, I choose you, not because I need to own you, but because I cherish your freedom, your truth, your soul. It begins with self-work. Because only when you feel whole within do you stop needing to extract completion from another. This is how love becomes a gift, not a transaction. You stop keeping score. You stop demanding transformation. You stop turning intimacy into obligation. Instead, you offer your presence. You witness them. You walk with them. And you trust that if it's real, they will stay. Not because you held on too tightly, but because you let them breathe. And if they leave, you still stand whole. Hurt, maybe, but never emptied. Because true love doesn't erase you, it amplifies you, while allowing the other to expand too. This is not easy. It requires courage, emotional maturity, and spiritual honesty. But it's the only path that leads to love that lasts, because it's based not on fear, but freedom. When love becomes truly free, it stops being just a human emotion. It becomes something else, a mirror of your consciousness, your growth, your state of being. The way you love reveals how awake you are. If you love to possess, you're still asleep, still acting from ego, fear, and survival. If you love to control, you're still wounded, still trying to cage the world so it won't hurt you again. But if you love with openness, without needing to reshape, restrict, or rescue, then your love has matured. Your consciousness has expanded. This kind of love doesn't just benefit the relationship. It shifts your entire existence. Because when you stop trying to control love, you stop trying to control life. You begin to trust, to surrender, to flow. Love becomes a path to spiritual liberation, not just a connection between two bodies, but a resonance between two evolving souls. And every moment becomes a teaching of who you are, what you've healed, and how far you've come. So ask yourself, does your love reflect your highest self or your oldest wounds? Because love isn't just a feeling, it's a frequency. In the end, love isn't something to win. It's something to become. To love someone is not to possess them. It's to witness them. In their fullness, in their freedom, in their becoming. If your love makes someone shrink, it's not love. If it makes you hide, it's not love. If it turns joy into performance or care into control, it's time to unlearn. Because love is not a cage. It's a catalyst. A real relationship doesn't ask you to trade your wings for a leash. It dares both of you to fly higher, together or apart. So if you truly love someone, don't ask them to be less. Ask them, what do you dream of becoming, and how can I support that? And if someone truly loves you, they'll never fear your light. They'll fuel it. So today, reflect, are you giving love as freedom or as fear? Are you growing alongside the people you love or holding them still? Let this be your compass. Real love elevates. Real love evolves. Real love expands. Because the highest form of love is liberation. Thank you for watching.